Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on this episode, you guys can see I went ahead and built myself a bot right here that is about medium size. I wouldn't say he's too large, too small. He's pretty much hollow on the inside, and you can see he has batteries and things of that sort down there. Now, I will show you him in more detail. The only reason I'm in such a rush to get over here is, one, this is pretty much all the blocks that I have so far collected. I had to spend all my money to build this guy, and I only have so long before his batteries run out. So I want to make good use of his batteries before I have to recharge them. And you can see it is a pretty decent sized bot. He has a lot of firepower on him. Unfortunately, a little bit too much though, because not a lot is left, and I need a lot of weapons to be able to outfit this guy. So let me see if I can go ahead and get this. And while he's doing that, I am going to come over here and go ahead and attack this next one, because I don't really need to stay over there for that whole long drawn out. There it is. The drone boss is ahead of us, and I do need these wireless chargers, so I am definitely going to see if I can snag one of those right off the bat. And I got one. Let me toss it back here in the back so that if they do get destroyed up here in the front, I should just be perfectly fine snagging those here in a minute. Let's see. Can I grab that guy? No, I need to be a little bit further back. You can see they're coming for me. They see me over here, and they're like, oh, no, that's not going to do. We're not going to let you come over here and just attack our friendly guys. Although they're actually attacking themselves over there, and I'll take it. I'll definitely take that. My wills are just not enough for the size of this bot. They're being bogged down a little bit too much, so I may have to add some wheels on the inside. But again, I just didn't have the cash to do so just yet. So let them grab that. I will come over here and finish off these two guys. The guys that, got me to come over here in the first place and really, caused some serious trouble for me. Lost my last bot. Now, I do have weapons on the front and the back. However, they are deciding to attack the front rather than the back right now. Let me see, can I come back here? GSO license Mac, congratulations, you have reached the current maximum license for the GSO. There are still lots of new blocks to discover, but you won't gain any more XP or GSO grades until we add more missions. And it doesn't show you what blocks you're going to get at further levels, but that is the last level of our thing right there, guys. We won't get any more GSO. However, we can still get a higher ranking on a lot of other stuff. So let's see, can we grab these? Yes, we can. Let me back it up, back it up, back it up. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Oh my God, so slow in reverse. Definitely need a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 more wheels if we can afford it with all this stuff right here. There's another thing that guess not been perfected just yet, is the elevation when you're putting items down. A lot of the time, if your bot is rather big, the elevation on that will be, really, really high up in the air, and therefore it will take longer. I wonder how you put that down on the ground for it to be picked up, if it's one of those items that can be placed rather than thrown onto the ground like a block. Can I just stick it into it? I guess I can just stick it into it, so that's kind of cool. All right, let's get this back over here. We do have, now that this thing is done, well, let's see, what else did we get? GSO corner piece. I guess we haven't gotten one of those yet. Come on, put it down. There we go. Let me back it up a little bit, and I am going to try something that I think will be fairly decent to work with, and it's going to charge up my batteries just a little bit so we can keep going. Now, if I go into build mode and that thing starts sucking stuff up, I should have access to it. There they are. Let's see, where are they at? Wireless chargers. Now, for those of you who have never used a wireless charger, all you have to do is attach it to either a battery or to a solar reactor like this. Now, normally you can have up to, I believe it's 2 to 3 wireless chargers. I don't know why it won't let me push this down. There we go. 2 to 3 wireless chargers per solar reactor and get the most effect out of it. Now, you can have more than that, but I see diminishing results when you put more than 3 or 4. If you put, like 6 or 7 attached to it, you're really not going to get more power from it. However, if you add more wireless chargers to more solar reactors or solar generators, and then you can get more power coming out of it even faster. In fact, I've created an entire giant wall made out of this stuff. Now, if you're going to do something like that and you're going to want power to come back to you anytime that you see fit, my suggestion would be to add batteries to it, because as you can see, it does get nighttime. These things are absolutely worthless at night. However, if there are batteries attached to it, it will charge those batteries up, and then come nighttime, use that recharge, that power that is built up to charge up your batteries. So rather than having to sit there and take batteries off and put them on, take them off and put them on, which can be rather hard to do depending on where they're at, you can just have them charge yours up. It takes a few seconds, and again, the more batteries you happen to have, the faster that goes. So instead of keeping these, I'm just going to throw these back down on the ground, and that way I can save space, because I'm going to take that other thing with me anyways, and when I need them, I'll just go ahead and snag them the same way I did this time. Let me see, I need to zoom in a little bit, get these in a better position. Now you can see the weapons and stuff that I've managed to put on my bot are somewhat, that's not what I wanted to do. Put that one back. Oh, and it went the wrong way. Of course it did. It's not going to be easy on me, is it? Ah, jeez. So I need to find a better spot for these so I can get them in and out. I do like how they finally added a method in there for us to, get underneath the bot. That didn't used to be a thing. If you wanted to see underneath the bot, you were pretty much out of luck. You just really couldn't flip it over that much. Let's see. Come on, move. Let me come over here and pick this thing up while we still got power. Don't want to waste too much. I have so many batteries down there, but they're not the efficient ones. They're the small batteries. If you want the efficient batteries, you want to go with the geocore, but those are very, very hard to find. And even once you do, holy crap, they got the big cannons on there. Yes, let's grab those big boy cannons. We'll put a whole bunch on there. We won't use too many of them to start with, to be honest, guys, because I want to save that for another build, but I definitely do want to get access to it. And this should definitely make up for all the pieces that I lost, because, yeah, that is a lot of freaking blocks right there. Enough for me to build maybe 2 or 3 harvesters that just go off and collect resources for me. It also has a fair amount of these things right here, these Venture Fire rifles, and I want a decent amount of those because those turn a 360-degree angle. They do a lot of damage because they hit everything around them. Now, they don't actually do a lot of damage by themselves, but the fact that really nothing gets outside their rangefinder, outside their view of distance, that's why they do so much. So definitely a great weapon to have on if you put it in the right spot. Now, if you put it in a spot where it really just doesn't have the capability of spinning around 360 degrees, then you may run into issues where it just doesn't get the full effect out of that. And what am I falling on here? Is it the... Yep, it's right underneath in the centerpiece. Can I take that out without the whole thing just collapsing? Is it attached anywhere else? No, it's not. So if I take one of these blocks, and let's see if we can attach. There's attached there, and this is attached there. So if I remove this, it shouldn't pop off. Okay, so there we go. Let's take those out, because it doesn't really need to have a bar down here on the bottom in the center. To be honest, let's remove that, and we'll move that out as well. And then when we come back down, yep, there we go. A little bit easier to move. Maybe not, because we're still stuck. I guess it's stuck up there in the middle at the front where I have all that stuff down. What if we get rid of these? Move that right there. Will that be any better? Little bit, but not too much better. Let's back it up. If it will let us. No, it's not going to let us. We are stuck yet again. This is why you don't make your bot too low to the ground, and it's also why you don't make your bot too wide either, because then you'll get stuck on places like this without... and now that we've kind of removed those pieces, we're definitely moving a little bit better, but we do kind of have to fix that. And I think the way I'm going to fix that is to remove that bottom layer. Now, my cab is down there, and you're probably wondering, well, what happens if you remove your cab from the bot that you're building? Well, the whole thing snaps apart, because your cab is the main piece. And I'm actually going forward right now, and it's just not gripping too well. So that's why it's not going in the direction I wanted to, because I still have to come over here and pick this thing up. But yeah, if you remove your cab, the whole thing pops open. The way to fix that, if you do want to remove that, maybe move it into a different location, is to go ahead and put another cab down. You can have as many cabs on your main bot as you want. And it's actually kind of nice to do so, especially if you have a really big geocore, bot that you're building, go ahead and put a cab in each one of the corners, maybe more than, just the corners, maybe a couple in the center and things of that sort, because with a bot that big, you just never know what side you're going to get destroyed on. And if you build one in each one of the corners, it kind of confuses the enemy. He doesn't know which one to go after. Instead of like with me, where they're kind of favoring one side or the other, and this is just nasty little terrain over here from my size of my bot. It's just not doing too hot, but I want to pick up all this stuff because there's a lot of goodies over here. And then we'll go back to my base and see if I can build a few of the harvesters, because I kind of want to do that on camera. I want to do a little bit of the building because I enjoy the building. I know a lot of you guys enjoy the building. Some people don't want to see that stuff always done on camera, but I like to show it off because a lot of the questions I had when I first started this game is, how do you move things around? Where do you put things? Why are you putting them in that order? And not a lot of people would kind of go through that and kind of specify why they were building stuff and the way they were building it. It just seemed like, boom, it was done. They got their bot, designed really, really cool. And I'm like, yeah, but what's underneath it? Like, why did you put the placement of those shields where you put them when you could have put them somewhere else? And the answers to those is not always what you might think. A lot of the stuff that I figured out has just been trial and error over time. And, they've made so many changes to the game that even if you had played back in the day and then you're coming to it again, it could be drastically different from what you think it should be, just because of the changes they made to it. That's all they're going to pick up there is just those two pieces. So I'll let them do that, and we should head back. Now, as you can see, there are no... Oh, that's not right. There are no... what do you call it? Tractor pads on this bot. So it's not designed to do that function at all. Oh, come on. This is just a pure build or a battle bot, basically. And it's... it was designed on a flat surface. It's designed out here on the salt flats. And so that is where it naturally wants to be. And it works beautifully out here, which is where I tested it. However, on the hills and things of that sort, you're going to want bigger wills. You're going to want that gap underneath. Now, the gap underneath is beautiful when you're going over those hills like that. You won't get stuck nearly as much. The downside to that, however, is that those little tiny bots, they will literally go straight underneath your bot, and they can blow stuff up, they can do damage to it. So I would highly suggest you be very careful with leaving space open down here, especially if you're going to do something like what I'm doing, which is to have all these batteries down here. That's going to cause some issues. If they come down here and explode, and the very bottom of your bot is basically a giant powder keg just waiting to go off, you're going to have a nice size bot that just booms all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, how did that little tiny guy destroy me? It's happened, guys. I've done it before. It is not a fun scenario. You want to make sure you watch out for that as much as possible, because you will regret it. If you rush it in this game, you're going to pay for it, and you're not going to like the outcome of the cost on that one. So we need to get one more, or a couple more cabs, actually. So let's go ahead and buy one of those. There's $0 or 0 big bucks, I should say, guys. I'm going to put down 4 of them right there. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and put this thing down over here somewhere. I'll move it off to the side so I don't have to worry about my bot getting stuck on it. But the reason I kind of like doing that now that we have access to that is that it allows me to just throw stuff off of my bot and immediately have access to it again. I don't have to move things around and make sure, everything's in the right area. So let's see. I'm going to put one right there. I guess I'm going to move this over here. It doesn't have to be exact, but I may go ahead and fix that at a later date and make it a little bit more, what you call it, even on both sides, so that when they go after this stuff, they are going after both sides equally. The shields, I guess the shields could stay there. It was really this centerpiece that was getting stuck. And I guess this bottom piece on this side, anyways, is not the same as on the other side. This side is blocking any of the bots from running through the bottom of my bot. So I don't want them to have access to that. And that's kind of why I did it that way right there. Over here, it's definitely vulnerable. They can just slide right underneath and get over here and do so much damage to the bottom of my bot that I really, really don't want to risk that being destroyed. So while this is going on, I am going to go ahead and put my solar reactors back down. Now, there's not much they can do at the moment because it's dark, and so I'm going to put these things on it, these wireless chargers, And I do kind of wonder if they're going to change the fact that some blocks, such as the regular building blocks, the actual GSO blocks, you can put down as many of those as you want per click. However, when it comes to repair bubbles and wireless chargers, you have to click it, put one down, click it, put one down, click it, put one down. And, I don't know if they want that there or if that's just something they thought would be kind of convenient, because some of those blocks you would only put one down, whereas the blocks that you make your base out of, you may want to put a whole bunch of them down. With me, however, there's been situations where I want to put all of them down, and it's kind of annoying to have to keep clicking on there. But, how can they assume what you're going to be doing? So, let's see, can we click on it? There we go. So now I have access to a new guy, and we are going to build something out of that. Let's go into the build mode. This is going to be my harvester, by the way, guys. So he's not going to be, anything special when it comes to doing damage. He will have a little bit of that, but not a whole lot. And he is going to have some of these things as well, but he has no money for it right now, so he's going to have to wait. All right, 102. We got 102 of these things, guys. That is nuts. That is a nice size amount of blocks to work with. I think we're going to keep them rather small. Again, we kind of want to do small blocks on this playthrough, or small, builds, not too large, not too small either. Let's do that, and then we will do the same thing on this end right there if we can, if it will let us. Yep, right there. Okay, so he's going to be more of a dump truck, I think, in design. So let's go this direction. We'll go out one more. And I do want to cover him up so he's as well protected as possible. Don't want to leave that guy open to the elements. If he gets destroyed, as I said before, guys, your whole thing is gone. So protect him, even if it kind of, goes in a direction you weren't planning for it to go. It's better to be safe than sorry on that one. That's why I don't like putting him on the very bottom. That is not a good place for him. I don't like putting him in the very back either, because that's not a good place for him either. So yeah, just be very, very cautious with them. Let's see. This is going to be a dump truck size bot, so I guess that's going to go back maybe one more. Yeah, I think we're going to go back one more if we can raise that up a little bit right there. And for those of you who are like, it doesn't look like a dump truck yet, yeah, we got a long way to go on it. It's something we're going to be working on here. There it goes, zooming in yet again, even though I want it to be zoomed out. Thank you very much, programmers. I appreciate it. No, I don't. I hate that. Absolutely despise that. It's not something I want. Okay, so the sun is coming up. That's why you guys see that that thing is charging over there. Let's see. We are going to go up how much more? 2 more? Yeah, 2 more probably. So let's do this right here. Yeah, zoom in a little bit more, guys. That's exactly what I want. All right, there we go. That's going to be the back of the dump truck right there. We're going to put the tractor pads in there for the back. We definitely want to protect this piece right here, so we'll go a little bit more back this way. How's that? One more right there. That should work. Maybe up. Yeah, we'll do... I don't want to put too much weight, though. Too much weight can cause this thing, because it's going to be picking up a lot of stuff as far as resources. So I want to keep it light as much as possible, but at the same time, I want it to be able to do what I want it to do. So I may actually make this shorter in the front. I don't know. We'll have to look at that here in a second. What was I doing? I don't want these two. I want the big ones there. Save the small ones for when I actually need them, which is rarely, but you do want them there because I don't want to spend any more money than I have to. I do have a set of 3, the GSO 3 blocks. I only have 2 of those, and I could actually use that here in the front. So let's get rid of this and put that there just to try it out. I don't really use these too often because you don't get these too often, to be honest. So it's kind of nice that I have access to that this early in the game. They are giving me access to a lot of more blocks than I ever did before, earlier and earlier in this game. So that is very cool. I definitely appreciate that. Let's see, how's that looking? That's looking pretty good, right? Not too bad at all. All right, let's put a couple more of these things down. One right there and one right there, kind of seal it up a little bit. And then we're going to put those tractor pads in there if I have access to any of them. I think I do have a couple of them already done. No, I don't. There they are. Those are the ones that I want. However, I do have these small ones. So since this is going to be a drone that I have just kind of go off and collect stuff for me, I'm just going to go ahead and throw these on there. just because we have them. They're not the best in the world, but then again, guys, they don't need to be the best in the world. They just need to be good enough to collect the stuff that I want them to collect. So, we were out already, huh? All right. Let's see. I hope that's going to be powerful enough to actually pick stuff up. We may actually, you know what? We may just get rid of these blocks back here all together. Put these down and just have a set of row going all the way back. I think, yeah, that's going to work out nearly perfect. We're going to need one more here in the back, but for now, I think that's going to be good. Now we have to worry about wheels. What kind of wheels do we want, guys? I don't want it too high up off the ground, because if you go too high up off the ground with a bot like this, it's not going to be able to pick up the resources you want it to be able to pick up. The more wheels you have, the better off. I did put a wheel there where I didn't want it, so I will snag that in a second. But as I said, you know, with this kind of block, you can keep putting them down, where the other ones you kind of have to go in there and, you know, pick each one and put it down one by one, and that's not, why won't it let me put it in there? There we go. We'll go ahead and do one back here. We'll switch sides if we can. There we go. One right there. We'll do some on this side as well. And these right here. The more wheels you have, the more weight distribution. So it's a good idea to have wheels on the inside. Plus, this one won't get stuck on those ledges like the other one will. So that is it's definitely going to be a nice improvement. Let's see. I need to hide the wheels. Let's put these here, right there, and I'll put one more layer right here. That's going to allow me to put weapons up there, so this thing can be protected. It's getting a little bit bigger than what I initially intended, but that's okay. We do want to save some space on the inside for the batteries, which we're going to have to buy some because I don't actually have any spare batteries for this guy at the moment. XP is maxed right now. Okay, you are good. Now let's go to our weapons. What kind of weapons do we have? Give me some good ones, guys. I know we picked up a lot of different ones out there. Okay, so we do have drills. I am going to go with... I really don't like the large ones because the large ones, they get stuck way too easy on hills. And this guy, he may be traveling quite a bit. And I really don't even want to put these on there because this will get stuck quite a bit as well. But he needs them. This is what his job is going to be, is to go off and collect resources. And I don't want to put too many of these weapons on there because if you do, you can risk destroying stuff. But again, if you don't, as you can see just how many mobs are out here, you may risk losing your entire bot. So let's go ahead and put a fair bit of them just for extra protection. Now, you may be wondering, why did I leave the sides here undone? Well, it's because I want the weapons to be facing out towards the side. So he is protected, so he doesn't have to worry about the mobs finding that one spot that he can't protect against. Because the sides here are very vulnerable to that. Just like they were doing on mine at the very beginning when I lost that bot. You know, they found that one spot that I couldn't do anything against him. Now, let's see. I need to put some of these down on this side. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit overpowered, but hey, we got the pieces. Might as well use them. And, you know, he's going to be our first one. So if we go overboard with them, you know, I'm kind of okay with that at the moment. Just so much, just so we don't lose anything, because, you know, there's too many of them. There's too many of them out there. We need to clear up some of that stuff. Once you get a handle on the situation, I don't think you need to go this extreme with this many weapons and all that other stuff. But until you get a handle on the situation, yeah, get side with a little bit overpowered than anything else. So that is done. Let's go ahead and throw that down. We don't need that there anymore. Weapons. We do have a few extra weapons we could use, such as the 3-pound cannons. So let's keep going overpowered and put these things down. Come on, if you would please put it down. There we go. I don't know why I wouldn't put it down there for a second. All right, you guys are done with the weapons. I think that's all we need. Let's see. Do I have any of the smart calves left? The actual ones that make it intelligent enough to go off and do its thing? I don't think I do. How much are these? Do I have any? Let me check in here. How much do they cost? I can't make that one yet. I have one over there on my base, or at least I did earlier. How much are the batteries, though? Batteries are 173, so I don't have enough for the batteries. Okay, let's come down. I'm gonna swing him. Holy crap! What is that? Is that guy sitting over here? That's an enemy, guys. Holy crap! We need to take care of that. Let's Let's go do that with the big guns, the ones that have all the weapons on it. Now the other guy might be able to do it, but I don't want to risk that. Don't want to risk that at all. This guy's gonna be tough. Look how many weapons he has. Look how many weapons he has, guys. I'm gonna sit here and go toe to toe with him. However, you know, if we're too close, yeah, there we go. Woo, baby, that just pretty much given us all of our stuff back. Actually, I'm going to wait for that to pick up those things that are kind of fell within the direction, which is why I kind of wanted to have multiples of these things, so I could do just that. Like I said before, have those spaced out all over the place, and when one of these guys exploded, I wouldn't have to go and move, you know, each and every one of these around. I could just be like, okay, you're close enough, pick up what you can pick up, and be done with it. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of blocks right there. Enough to maybe make one more, maybe two more of those guys. I don't necessarily need them anywhere near as big as the guy I just created over here. It could be, you know, 1/4 that size and still be able to go off and get enough resources to make it worth my while. And, you know, because he's smaller, less blocks or less size bots will spawn in his place. So there we go. I love that thing. That thing is so freaking nice. Wish they had put this in the game earlier. There were ways to do exactly what this thing is doing to a certain extent. Like, you couldn't store the items like this thing does, but you could create a bot, and I've done it before. It's you know, the harvester bot that I built not too many episodes ago, like 4 or 5 episodes ago, where, you know, you have your large receivers picking the stuff up and carrying it on your bot. You would take it back, and then you would sell all those pieces. You'd get them off of the map, though, which was the main concern, because it creates so much lag if you don't. And yeah, that was definitely a nice chunk of change when you used to do it that way. If this one would actually stay on the ground, there we go. You would make a lot of money, and then that would give you the money you need to buy the pieces all over again, because you got the 1-to-1 ratio. I think at some point they're going to be changing that, so when you sell an item, you only get a portion of what that item is worth, especially now that you can just store the item if you really want to. That would be, you know, a good timing to go ahead and initiate that in there. But like I said, this thing, be nice if you could increase the range on this thing too. But maybe just make more of them. If you could make more of them. I don't want to throw that down. Bring it over here. We got a few more blocks, a few more weapons. There we go. That's probably going to be good. Let me drag a few of the blocks over there closer to it so it can pick it all up without having to move it. This weapon, however, I will take, because I can always use a few more of those. Let's move it. Did we lose? Oh, yeah, we must have lost a block, or maybe I threw it down. Can I grab one of those? Yep, just in time. There we go. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if we lost the block, or if I threw it down, or what. But yeah, there's definitely one missing there. So I did snag that, put that back. Let's see, anything left over here? Yep, there is a few things over here. Let me put that down, and then I will keep going if it will let me. No, I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forwards. That was kind of weird. It actually stopped going forward and started going backwards, even though I was still holding the forward button down. So I didn't know what was going on there. All right, if you can stop for a second. This guy does not want to stop on a dime. So here we go. Here's our AI module, the multi-seeker AI module. I don't know if that means he only does combat, but we're going to try it, and we're going to see what happens. What are we going to do? We need some money for the batteries. In fact, maybe I'll just take a few off of this guy for now. I can spare a few. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just a couple batteries to get him going, so that he has a little bit to work with, and he won't get destroyed as easily. Okay, so that's good. Let's see. I need to put these in there. I thought I took 4 off, but it only looks like there's 3, so there might be another one stuck under there somehow. All right, where is that AI module? There it is. We'll put it on here. Hopefully he will not take off right away. There we go. And there it is in the back. All right, can I fit it in there? I want it in there as close to the bottom as possible so that I can eventually cover this up with blocks, because if you do not, you risk, you know, mortars getting in there and just destroying you. So let's bring this back over here. We'll go into build mode if we can, and we'll get a few of those blocks now that we got some to spare. Right there, and we'll go with 1. It's our last one too. All right, so we can still remove these if we want to later down the road and put more stuff down there. We want to be able to see, and you can still see how many batteries and what their charge is, why it's down there. This block right here can definitely be removed at some point, But for now, it's going to stay where it's at until we get more tractor pads to kind of replace that with. And we got the AI module on there, so if we get off of this boss, this this mob that we just created, the actual block, I'm not even know what I'm saying, the bot, I should say, that we created, he's going to go do his own thing. I'm hoping he knows what to do. You can kind of see him shaking himself back and forth. Does he not have a... He doesn't have a shield on him. Do we have one? Maybe we got one off of that fight. I think I forgot to put one on him. Nope, we still don't have one. We don't have the money to give him. At the very least, he has the repair. It's not fantastic, but it's better than nothing. So I'm going to let him kind of sit there and do his thing. And I think, guys, what we're going to do is, in the episode here, on the next episode, I am going to get fully charged up with my batteries, and we're going to go off and finish attacking that main guy that we saw over there. We're going to get his stuff, maybe, and then come back and work on the base. I know I've been teasing the base for a while now. I definitely want to do that. However, I need more money, and I need more blocks. I need these harvesters to start doing their thing. You can kind of see them over there. Now, I've never had very good luck with these guys. They've always been ridiculous, never done what they're supposed to do, but you guys have had nothing but good things to say about them. So I'm giving them a shot again. We are on a assault flat, so I'm hoping they work. There he goes. Let's actually watch him for a second and see if he will shoot those resources and get me some stuff. No, he's just going to go right past him, and I have no idea what he's doing. No idea where he's going. He may get completely destroyed. If he does, that's a lot of resources down the drain. But as you guys have asked me to do multiple times, give them a shot. And that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm going to create a whole bunch of them, have them go off and do something. And if they all get destroyed, that will be the last time I mess with them for a long time. But you never know unless you try. So again, guys, thanks for watching. And I definitely will catch you all next time.